Hey, welcome back to Hurdy Gurdy World. I'm George Leverett. Thanks for being here. Today we're going to cover a fun little playing exercise. Now, don't worry, this is very beginner friendly. So, having said that, we're not going to push you too far into the deep end of the pool. I'll give you a quick sample of what we'll be learning today. What we've got going here, before I start taking it apart and dissecting it for you, a left hand 1-3-5 arpeggio, and then the right hand will be doing a simple 1 beat per rotation buzz. And then we'll combine the two into one exercise. Quick note, my instrument might sound a little different than yours. That's okay, I'm in the DG tuning. Most likely you're in a different tuning. Most players I meet tend to work in GC. That's okay, it's more the finger and wrist, or right hand and left hand movements that we're worried about than the specific tuning. So let's get started with the left hand. For the left hand part, I've turned off all my strings and I'm down to just one melody string turned on. That way you'll be able to hear a little more clearly what I've got going on. I'm playing this riff in sets of 3, so I'll count it off as I play. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and so on. You get the idea. Now the actual notes that I'm playing for the left hand part, on my lower row of keys, button number 3, number 5, and number 7. Now repeat that. 3, 5, 7, 3, 5, 7, 3, 5, 7. After doing that 4 times, I move everything down a step. The second half of this riff is button number 1.5, 4, and 6. When I say button number 1.5, I'm talking about on my lower row I have button number 1 and button number 2, and then the one between those on the upper row is button number 1.5. That's what I'm referring to. 1.5, 4, 6. So that's the essence of it. I'm going to put it all together and play it for you so you can hear how it goes. First half, change, change, 1, 2, 3, 4, 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 change. Before we move on to the right hand part, if you're actually following along at home, which I hope that you are, make sure to learn the left hand part pretty well first so you're pretty comfortable playing that with your left hand. Now let's talk about the right hand part, the cranking. Now, as you remember from a moment ago, I had my melody string turned on. We're going to talk about the right hand part. I'm going to turn on my trumpet string. It's set up to buzz. If yours isn't, you can tighten this adjuster peg until yours buzzes also. I'll show you what we're aiming for. 1 buzz per rotation. That's kind of the easiest rhythm you can do in terms of buzzing with your right hand. Where I do it on the rotation is when I'm kind of on the downstroke, like if you're to wrap your knuckles downward on a table or something, that motion, that downward motion, you'll have a little more power in your strike, so to speak, the strike of the sound. So that's where we give a little emphasis on the rotation, a little extra push when my hand is going down. Now, not when it's coming back up, because that's not the strongest motion, and especially if you're a beginner, that one will feel a little more awkward if you try to do it on the back side where your hand is coming upwards. So for now, just when your wrist is going down. Another way to look at it is you can see the instrument's up against my body on one side, and I have my lap on the other. kind of when I'm going down towards my lap. So a good thing to do is to be able to consistently hit it that 1 part per rotation. So before you integrate the left hand part we just showed you and the right hand part, make sure you can buzz consistently on each rotation. If it's not buzzing quite enough, you can tighten the peg here, which pulls on your trumpet string. That's what we're aiming for. I mentioned a moment ago, just generally speaking, that the 1 buzz per rotation is about the easiest buzzing rhythm you can do on a hurdy-gurdy. You can also think of that as that's the beat you're going to tap your foot to when playing along with other music. So practice that. Make sure you can get it at just the right spot of the wheel rotation. I notice when I'm giving a lesson here in the hurdy-gurdy shop, a lot of people will start to drift, like they'll hit it at that right spot for the first couple times, but then they start to wander when the buzz happens. So kind of keep focused on it happening at exactly the right part of the rotation. All right, let's put it together. At this point, you should be comfortable, if you're playing along at home, you should be comfortable playing the left-hand part by yourself pretty well, and the right-hand part, getting that 1 buzz per rotation. That shouldn't be a big deal to you at this point. Hopefully you've practiced a little bit. Now we're going to put them together. I'm going to turn on a low drone. If you are in D, G, then that'll be a G drone. If you're in G, C tuning, that'll be a C drone that you'll turn on. You'll remember a moment ago when I was counting out the melody part with your left hand in sets of 3. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. We buzz on the 1. Practice that over and over until you get it. Hopefully you have some fun with that. Thanks for checking us out this week. We'll see you next time.